Hello, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another live stream right here on Mobile Music Pro. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Let's make sure the audio is working. Oh, yes, it is. It's working good. So thank you guys so much for being here. I'm super excited about today's stream, guys, because today is the end of the month community live stream where we get to hear back from you guys, just have a discussion, and maybe even it'll be the same people every month, even if it is, that would still be fine with me, because I just want to hear what's going on with you guys. I just want to know what's going on, what music you're making, what apps you're using, and just kind of have a discussion with the community. So I'm really looking forward to that today. So guys, if you do want to join in to today's discussion, then all you have to do is go to mobilemusicarmy.com and join our free Discord. So we have it up right now. We have the Discord going on, and there is a room in here called October Community Stream, and I am in there right now, and I have myself muted. But go ahead and join the chat, join mobilemusicarmy.com, join the live stream, and you'll be able to go ahead and have your voice heard and in today's discussion. And if you guys don't want to join in the discussion, just want to stay in the chat, go ahead. That's up to you.
Test.
Uh-oh. I don't have that muted. Nobody talk yet. Not a box, but yeah. I forgot to mute the actual voice channel. But anyway, I'm in there and I'm muted. Forgot to mute the voice channel, but that was not a box in there. Hopefully, you guys will be able to join us in there when you get a chance. But let me go ahead and just go to real quick. Go to the chat and just make sure I'm muted in there. There we go. I muted the sorry about that, not a box. I muted the tab, but you guys can all go in there now and join in there, and we'll get a discussion going. But in the meantime, I'll just say hello to everybody in the chat, and for those that don't want to join in, we'll just stay here in the chat. I don't really have a big plan for today, other than to just do our normal announcements, and then just try to have some discussion, because I do have some subjects, that we can go ahead and discuss if you guys want. Otherwise, we're just going to chat with whatever you guys want to talk about. It's all up to you. Yes. So let's just check the chat real quick. Right now, if we look here in the actual Discord chat, we only see Not a Box in there. Not a Box is the only one in there right now. I don't know why it says Vortex is typing. Oh, I bumped the button. Okay, but yeah, you can see in there that right now only Not a Box and myself, Vortex, is inside of the community October community chat. But hopefully we get a few more people in here by the time the introductions are done. So let's go ahead and say hello to the chat, of course, and get to these introductions. Doug Knack is here. What's going on? Who else is in here? James, what's going on, James? Appreciate you, bro. Steven is here. Sam is here as well. James says it's his first time here, but he has been learning a lot from our videos. Thank you so much, James. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you for being here. Hopefully you can join in the Discord, the free Discord at mobilemusicarmy.com, and join in today's conversation. We're going to be talking about a bunch of different things, you know, new apps, all sorts of fun stuff. I got some subjects we can go through. Maybe we'll talk about the new Ableton app and a bunch of other stuff as well. But yes, Not a Box is here, and it says, good evening from Germany. Doug Knack is here saying he made it. Yes, yes. Stephen Tucker says he's got his Discord and YouTube side by side in Stage Manager. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. I think Stephen Tucker won the internet. I think Stephen Tucker won the internet on that one, bro. That's dope. That is pretty cool. Burns is here. What's going on, Burns? Appreciate you, bro. Yes, yes. Who else is in here? Scrolling down. James says he's been using Cubasis for about a month. Yeah, it's a great time to join for sure. And yeah, yeah, I guess we're going to have to hear that unless I close the app. But anyway, yeah, it's a great time, definitely a great time to join because Cubasis had that 3.4 update, which has a bunch of great stuff. So if you just got here now, it is a fantastic time to join because of all the features that have come before it. But and of course, all the features that are still yet to come since it's still very, very early days. But yeah, James, hopefully you enjoy it, bro. We're going to have a lot more tutorials and a lot more courses and a lot more sample packs all coming out next year. T-Mac is here. Blue York Beatdown. What's going on? He is in the chat. Appreciate you guys. All right, all right. James says he hasn't been able to utilize Stage Manager. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Again, you know, it's for having apps, you know, up next, you know, just like having Windows and stuff. It's not a big deal if you're only doing music production because, of course, you're going to probably just have one main app up, right? Which is going to be your DAW, right? Cubasis. So for me, for example, like I won't be utilizing Stage Manager because I'm just going to be mostly in Cubasis on my iPad. I don't use my iPad as an actual what's the word? Working device, or you know, it's only my music production device. So I don't actually use it for all my day-to-day tasks like doing graphics, like Photoshop, doing video editing, and things like that. Though maybe one day I might switch over, but you know, I have a fast PC that I do all that stuff on, and music production is for me 100% on the iPad only. So that's kind of what I use the device for. Still only got a couple people. Still only got Not a Box in there. Let's maybe we'll start out with Not a Box just to say hello in a second and get this conversation started. But let's see some of the let's just go to the announcements real quick. Okay, so first up, guys, let's just bring up the website. mobilemusicpro.com. I need a little jingle. To design myself a jingle. But we got a brand new sample pack, guys, called Pro Pack 9 Sentinel. It is another cyberpunk pack. And this, of course, since it's brand new, will be on sale for the next couple of weeks. This is really great because there's over almost 2 gigabytes of stuff in here, 300 loops, so hundreds of loops, 11 drum kits, and 130 MIDI files. So that's really great to be able to get you started, get a track started right away. Tons of great, awesome stuff in here, from effect sounds to leads to melodies to bass to drum, pretty much everything you need. So a lot of great stuff in here. Drum loops, of course, and bass loops. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, a lot of great stuff in here, guys. You're going to really enjoy. Leads and melodies. So a lot of great stuff in here. Hopefully you guys will take a look at this and enjoy it. It is $15 now for a limited time, and eventually we'll go back to the normal price of $30. Plus, we have a brand new sample pack coming out next week that's really special because that is a Halloween special. And I'm going to just give you guys the deets right now. Basically, the new sample pack coming out next week is going to be called Stranger Waves. And that, of course, is based on the Stranger Things soundtrack, and we're going to be releasing a pack that is in that same vein. So it, of course, has the Stranger Things type of graphics on it, and it's going to definitely the template, the Cubasis 3 template is literally the theme song from Stranger Things. So really great stuff to get you started, especially if you're new to this type of stuff. So if you're new to mobile music production, make sure you look out for that next week. But this week we got our Cyberpunk pack Sentinel coming, and hopefully you guys really enjoy this. This is by the Gijay, who of course is one of the greatest guitarists out there that you will find. So a lot of great bass, a lot of great guitar in here, and a lot of great drums as well. All right, let's go back with the chat, see how everybody is doing. Close the browser. Oh, got Critical in there. Got a couple. Got another person in there. All right. We're about to join the chat in just a second, but you guys can see we got Critical, Not a Box, and myself in there. So we're gonna start. We gotta stop typing. So we're gonna start getting to that in just a minute. But first, let's just get to the YouTube chat, see how everybody's doing, and then I think we're gonna get right into the voice chat. All right. Make sure to smash the likes. Dusty, what's going on? Dusty Lee is here. Appreciate you, bro. Oh yeah, Steven Tucker is Critical. I always forget that, bro. I always forget that your one of your producers' names is Critical. Yes. I am Steven Tucker and Critical. But yeah, bro, it's gonna be fun. Steven Tucker in the house, Not a Box in the house. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Hey, Adam, what's going on, Adam? Adam says, "Hey yo, what's going on, bro?" Hopefully you can join us, Adam, and anybody else in the YouTube chat. Hopefully you can join us right now into the Discord chat, or into the Discord voice chat, which you can find at mobilemusicarmy.com. Once again, mobilemusicarmy.com to join our free Discord and the conversation here. So let's go ahead and unmute the tab. Unmute the tab. And then unmute myself. Tab. Let's see. And then unmute myself. 1 second. Yeah, Critical, looks like we got some feedback, bro. Let's see. Gotta use it. Gotta use the headphones, bro. Yeah, Critical, looks like we got some feedback, bro. Let's see. There we go. Now everybody should be able to hear me both in the Discord and in the YouTube. But let me know, guys, if you want me to mute myself in the actual October. Let me know if you want me to mute myself in the community Discord, because you probably are listening to me on YouTube. So maybe I'll do that. I'll just mute myself. Yeah, so I've just muted myself. But let me know, guys. So I've unmuted the community stream, and yeah, so let's start out with Steven Tucker first, since you're here, bro. Steven, why don't you say hello, and then we'll go to Not a Box next. But how you doing, Steven? Or maybe Steven, maybe I should leave myself unmuted. Can you hear
me? Yeah, am I on?
Hey, what's going on, Steven? What's going on, bro? How
you
doing,
what's
man?
Up, everybody?
Let me know how you doing.
I'm great, man. How are you guys?
Can't complain.
I can't hear myself because I can only hew you.
Okay.
I was because I was listening to you on my phone, and then.
That's good. You don't want to hear yourself.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. No. I know. I was okay. Cool. I got everything right now.
Yes, sir. We got 17.
I'm doing good. I'm doing great.
Awesome.
I'm doing great. It's cool to talk to everybody that's in the chat. You guys can all hear me. Naughty Box, Not a Box, Adam S, T Mac.
Oh yeah.
James Basanti. Blue York, Beat Down, Burn 66. It's cool to actually say hi to everybody since we talk in the chat, but it's nice to actually say what's up.
Absolutely, bro. And hey, congrats again on winning the contest, man. You've won a couple of our contests, and the freaking tracks that you put out, dude, are so freaking incredible, especially with that guitar. Yeah, I just really appreciate you being in the community, and appreciate your contest entries for sure.
Well, thank you, dude. I learned it all from you.
I don't think so, bro. Your music is so much better than my music. I don't think so, but I'll take the compliment.
I wouldn't be in this workspace without you. I could say that.
All right, good, good. Well, I appreciate you, man. Hey, let's say hello to Nanabox. He's been in with the channel as well for a long time, giving me a bunch of ideas, giving me a bunch of inspiration, and yeah. So how you doing, Nanabox? All the way from Germany, sir. Oh, can you hear me, Nanabox?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
I use push to talk. Yeah. Can you hear me?
yes, I can. I can hear you just fine, Nanabox.
Okay, we have a lag. You know, it's lagging from Germany.
Oh, okay, no problem. But yeah, man, tell us how you are.
Yeah, I'm totally fine. You know, every Wednesday is for me a little celebration day, and I love the community.
Well, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate
Uh,
you and
Now I have
your
to
tracks
wait
that you submit too.
until I finish speaking.
Yep. Still appreciate you though, bro. And all the
One
input that you've
thing, you
given
know,
the channel.
I have to say is really the same. Like Steven says,
Go ahead.
um, without you, dear Vortex, you know, I would have just laying around and doing nothing because I'm totally uninspired sometimes. And the contests really keep me pushing, you know, because here in Germany, I just sit around alone on my own in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, Wednesdays are a little bit more life into my life. Thank you all. Thank you, community.
All right, not a box. Yeah, man. All the way over there from Germany. We appreciate you, bro. And this is what Mobile Music Pro is here to do. You know, we're definitely here to be a friend, to be a partner, and to be a helper, to be an ear for you whenever you guys want to talk. But yeah, that's what we're here to do. We're here to infotain and really try to bring some more life into people's lives, and I think some more light into people's lives. And I think we've done that for you, not a box. So really appreciate you, man, and thank you so much for the kind words. And hopefully, you can stay with us for a lot longer. I believe that you're starting your own channel pretty soon as well, aren't you, not a box?
Um, yeah, pretty soon I won't say, but I plan a channel with live performance, but it takes time. It takes time.
Yep, absolutely,
And
absolutely. A lot of hard work.
yeah, the shit is I have really to wait until I finish speaking because I can't speak when I hear myself. You know what I mean? Yeah.
For sure.
So
But we still love you, man. We still love you,
my
bro.
channel will come, but I don't wait for it. Just be surprised.
There you go. There you go. Hey, Bryant is here. Bryant says that Groove Rider is on sale in the App Store. So if anybody wants to check that out, make sure you grab that. We got some more people in the YouTube chat here. Got 17 people watching. We got Ed here. What's going on, Ed? Ed is here. Who else we got here? Marcos' council is here as well. Of course, T Mac and Adam, like we already said. But yeah, guys, if you want to hop into the audio conversation, I'd be more than happy to come in. But it looks like we only got Stephen Tucker and not a box right now, and that's fine for now. So, but just so you guys know, the floor is completely open. MobileMusicArmy.com. Join our free Discord, and it is completely open for whoever wants to come in. Let me just pull up some subjects here that I have. And the first thing actually is I saw Jacob Hack created a new poll. So let me just go to the web browser here. Go to Jacob Hack's YouTube. Jacob Hack, YouTube. We'll pull up a poll that he has, community. And so he's got this new poll up that says, would you pay desktop prices for desktop class DAWs if companies ported them to iOS? And let's go ahead and vote so we can see, because I already voted on my other account, but let's vote on this. Or maybe it won't let me because I'm not signed in. Yeah. No. I should have thought of that. Go back to YouTube. Come on.
I mean, if I had to vote, I'd put yes. You
Right?
get what you pay for.
I would
You get what you pay for. I say all the time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Man, I should have thought about being able to sign in so you guys can actually see the poll. What I could do is I could, I think I can print screen it real quick as well. Let me do that. Go to Jacob. I'm gonna go to Jacob on the laptop here. And I'm just gonna print screen the poll real quick for you guys so you can see. Do. Right. Let's print screen. Let's print screen that. Open up Paint or something. Paste. Yep. Save. Jacob. We'll call it Jacob. Copy this to our server. Yep. Now we got it copied. So now we'll go to our files. Go to my server. See if it loads up. There we go. And let's open up Jacob. Jacob. All right. So if we take a look at Jacob's poll here, you can see that there's actually a pretty good percentage of people that seem to not want to be able to pay. We got 45% here that says literally, no, they're not going to play. It's too expensive. What do you think about that, Steven?
Well,
Get crazy.
It's I could see if you're not a pro user, or if you're not up to the if you're not a pro user, if you're not gonna go for full production or anything like that, if it's just a notepad, I could see where you say no, it's too expensive. But if you want a full production, you get what you pay for, and eventually that allows full on DAWs, all professional stuff to come to our system. So
that's what I thought too. I mean, if we're not going to pay the money, then we're not going to get what we want, which is more apps, more desktop quality apps, more desktop apps ported over. We have what we have here. It says Blue York beatdown. Wait a second. Well, I thought somebody said something in the YouTube chat here about. Oh yeah, it's Dusty Lee. So Dusty Lee says, if the performance equals the desktop, then yes, definitely. And for us, it's not really, I don't think we're talking about performance as much as we're talking about features. Because obviously, Cubasis, Beatmaker 3, they're perfectly performant, right? You can have a ton of tracks in them, no problem. But what we're talking about is we need more pro features. Like, for example, Cubasis doesn't have a drum sequencer, right? Doesn't have an aux track, these type of things. And if we want these things, we have to be willing to, I think, pay. Did you have something to say about this Box? I know there's a little lag, but go ahead.
Yes, yes. I think that only the pro versions of iPad they can handle it. But I think also that many people just use normal iPads. Like me, I don't have the money actually, so I use 3 normal iPads, and no, nothing. No, there's no iPad right now I have which could handle a big DAW.
Okay, yeah. So you might need a newer iPad because what I was recommending, we just released that free video, or we just released that video about how to find cheap iPads, and what we kind of found on there is that you can get some pretty decent 2017, 2018 iPad Pros for around $300, $400, $500, which is definitely a pretty good deal. And of course, every time a new iPad comes out, that's going to push down the prices for everything else. And of course, the M2s just came out, and just like we thought, right? All the M1 iPad prices are coming down, especially even the M1 iPad Air, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, I don't think that should be too much of a hurdle for most people, because again, 2017, 2018 should be able to handle these DAWs, no problem. But yeah, if you don't have a newer iPad, then I can see how you could definitely say that might be a bit too expensive, especially if you don't do music production on it all the time. But yeah, because obviously a lot of people, especially on the iPad, are of course not doing music professionally. They're just playing with it and seeing what they can create, and then they go back to their day jobs, and so it's mostly a hobby. But there are people that are professional music producers as well that literally do that for a living that would also like to be able to have more features on their iPad, that would also like to be able to do some things like with Cubasis, maybe be able to drag more than one file in onto the timeline at once, right? I know that Bolo, the producer, definitely mentioned that, and that was pretty frustrating for him. He tried to do it one day in a session, just to drag in some tracks, and there was like freaking 30 tracks, and was not going to drag those tracks in one by one. So those type of things, I think, is something that's really needed. Let's see what the chat is saying here. Unless Steven or Notabox, if you want to say anything in response to that, go ahead. While I'm checking the chat.
No, nothing really. I think that I think that more producers that are in the PC and desktop or laptop world would come into this world because we'd have all the features they have. So it would keep them. It would make more people into our stuff, which is better for us. I think more producers, the better. I always think. Some people say it's oversaturated, but I don't agree with that.
Absolutely. I could not agree with you more. I don't think it's ever going to get, quote, oversaturated, because talent will always rise to the top. And, if somebody hears something that's good, they're going to share it with their friend, and that's never going to change, right? So I think that obviously, yes, there's more competition than ever before, of course, but that doesn't mean that your stuff can't rise to the top eventually with enough work and enough hard work and enough practice. And yeah, it is crazy that if we do want to have, professional producers start using this in addition to just hobbyists, we are going to need those features, because I think we can all agree that we have everything we need for your regular average novice producer who is not a professional full-time music producer. I think we can all agree we have sketch pads, we have DAWs, we have tons of apps, but it doesn't seem that we have the pro features that some of the more professional producers are used to yet on the iPad. And so I'm waiting for that for Cubasis for sure. Let's see if people are.
There's like Aria Pro. I was telling you the other day that I was switching over to Aria Pro because it has some of the features, but the UI is not easy to use. And then some of the features that are in Cubasis aren't in Aria Pro. So that when you're used to using Cubasis, they're not universal things. They just need to be accessible in all DAWs.
Yep. And Blue York Beatdown is in the chat, is saying that he wants Ableton Live and Logic for the iPad. I think we all want that. But according to Jacob's poll here, guys, it looks like you're not willing to pay for it, and that, of course, is going to be a problem. If we want to go and to start talking to companies like Ableton and say, look, guys, we have this whole huge community here ready to rock, but 45% aren't going to pay what it currently costs. I don't know if they're going to be too willing to jump in, and that's why we've seen their little splash, right? We've seen the splash with their Ableton, their new Ableton Note app.
Oh yeah, there's what's the other? Naughty Box can tell you about the other Ableton like DAW that just came out with a controller on the with the iOS too. So iPad and I forget the name of the DAW now. Maybe what's it called, Naughty Box?
Maybe MTE, Multitrack Studio. I mean, Multitrack Studio. Naughty Box. What is it? What's the DAW?
It's Bitwig. It's not new, actually. It's Bitwig.
Bitwig.
Oh, well, yeah, that's on the desktop, yeah.
New to me. Yeah, on desktop. So, but no, they got a controller for it on iOS now.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Very, very cool.
So maybe they're looking this way too, so that's what I'm thinking.
Yep, and that seems to be the theme of these big DAWs, these big companies like the MPC. They see they're dipping their toes in, creating little apps, creating little controllers, creating controller apps to be able to mess with their main DAW. But yeah, nobody's really taking the big huge plunge, in my opinion, except for Steinberg, right? They're the only major company that actually is attempting to create a real DAW inside of the iPad. Real quick, Burns66 says, how do I find you on Discord? Just head on over to mobilemusicarmy.com.
Yes, I have one thing.
Go ahead, Notabox.
Okay. Damn lagging.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Okay. 1 minute. I'll be back in a few seconds. My thing, what I really say is the Cubasis is not professional. Yeah, in my opinion, it's I need mono channels. Yeah, I need groups in groups. Yeah, to be a little bit more flexible, like an ARM. And actually, there's no door. Maybe this Aurea Pro. I don't know it. But no door which is really working like a normal door on desktop. And I think until there's no company is doing it like on desktop, the other ones they will just say it's playing games with iPad, you know.
Yeah, and I feel what you're saying about Cubasis because it does lack a few features, but I think that it is definitely more an actual more professional entry than anybody else is attempting to do. Right? It's definitely more of a professional entry than MPC did, more of a professional entry than FL Studio, more of a mobile, more of a professional entry than iMachine, and definitely more of a professional entry than Ableton Note. There's not, because you can, for example, host AUV3s, and there's, tracks. It's kind of the most classical type of DAW that you can find, the classical desktop type of DAW that you can find on iPad is Cubasis and Aria. And like you say, Aria does have a lot more pro features than Cubasis, but hopefully, Cubasis can have something more than that. But yeah, the problem with Aria, though, of course, is that it's only one developer, and they don't have updates very much. So it's like, when it comes to iOS, we were talking about this in iPadBeatmaking.com's room, where we're all just, we're just so close. There's just always something where like you have this, but not this, but this one has this, but not this. And so there's always like one little thing missing. And that's just kind of been the story with iOS. And that's just the story of the early days of any new ecosystem. That's how it was with PCs, early in the day. And that's how it was with laptops then. And then eventually, we figure it out, we get more experience, and we build better products. So yeah, we'll see how that has to go. I'm going to keep reading the chat here. Ed Zielinski says that he's willing to pay for the functionality if there's $50 worth of functionality in the desktop, and I would say, if there's $50 worth of functionality for me in the desktop app, only partial of that on the iPad, I would pay the partial. Well, to me, Cubasis is definitely worth $50. In fact, I think it's worth closer to 50, maybe 60, 70. Not the full 100 yet. But we still, if you want to charge 100, then you got to get closer to Cubase. You got a little bit closer to Cubase, because I think the entry level for Cubase might be 100. If not, it's 200. So maybe we're getting a little close to $100 for Cubase, but it's not quite there yet. It's still $50 is perfect price, I think, for the features that it is right now. But if they add more features over time, they will be able to charge more. Because I'd be willing to pay $100 easy for Cubasis if they had just a couple more features, like a little bit better routing, what Notabox was mentioning, and maybe a decent sampler, like an actual good sampler in there, maybe a drum track. If we had a couple more things, I'd be willing to pay $100 all day long. But
what's your guess for the next update?
What do you say, Stephen?
What's your guess for the next update? What do you think that we'll get in the next update?
Well, man,
Cubasis.
Like I've been waiting for an update for a while for Cubasis. To be honest,
Yeah.
Like, we've been we're definitely past the prime here. If we go to actually the App Store, and we'll just pull up Cubasis real quick. I just want to see when their last update was, but I believe it was a while ago. If we open up Cubasis here,
Aria Pro updated 4 months ago, which is it doesn't update very much, but it was 4 months ago, so that's something.
Let's take a look at that too. But if we look at the Cubasis first, we see that their last update was 6 months ago. Version 3.42. Okay, so you see that's a little bit. For Aria, we understand it's like pretty much one guy, but Cubasis, I know they have a team. It's not a big team compared to Cubase, but they have a team. Let's see, Aria Pro. There we go. Let's check out their last update here. This is the other app we're talking about here. It's Aria Pro. Well, I don't know why it's charging me a price, because I actually have the app. Let's see, Aria. Maybe it's a different Aria. Interesting. But anyway, let's go to their updates. Here we go. 4 months ago, and they fixed a crashing issue using on-screen keyboard. So it doesn't seem like a very big update.
No, it wasn't.
But they seem to be able to keep fixing crashing issues. That seems to be the big thing, and that's what I've heard, like from people like Nutrix the Synth Guy. Shout out to Nutrix the Synth Guy, who does a lot of iOS stuff. He uses Aria Pro, or at least he did, for his main DAW. I think he has now switched to Roland's Zen Beats. But before then, he used Aria Pro a lot, and the big thing that he complained about was the crashing. And it was to the point to where like there was an update, and then now he couldn't even open up a bunch of his projects. So I believe he completely ditched Aria Pro because of that. And now he's on ZenBeats. Let's check out ZenBeats. Let's see what their updates are going on. ZenBeats. Let's see how much they update. ZenBeats. Version history. Man, these guys are freaking, look at this. They just don't stop. Multiple updates every freaking couple of weeks, dude. This is insane. Wow. So Roland is really, really working hard. Yes, they didn't have a bunch of features, but look, they're getting it. They didn't have sidechain before, but looks like they got sidechain now. And their sampler, of course, is amazing. Their piano editor is amazing. Do I have ZenBeats? Let's see. Yeah. I don't know if I have the latest version. I do not. I should probably update that. Update ZenBeats. We'll pull that up once I update that real quick. But yeah, I mean, it's a great DAW, and we're just missing a couple of things when it comes to Cubasis, and I think Roland probably is only missing a couple things as well. It's one of those things where we're always missing one little feature that we need, and the other DAW has it, but then that DAW is missing a feature that we need. So it seems to be the story. See who else? Anybody else joining the audio chat yet? Oh, we got a few people in here. Look at that. We got Hard on the Beat, we got Jam, and we got Rehab. So let's go ahead and just call on Hard on the Beat. What's going on, bro? Can you hear us?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Would love to hear your thoughts on the discussion, man.
Oh man, you know what? I don't really get all off into the technical stuff.
No problem, no problem.
The thing that got me over into iOS was, just I wanted to be able to, not be confined like to no mouse or anything like that, to be able to touch. So, coming from, being on a beat machine like the MPC or the machine, I transitioned pretty well into BeatMaker. And so that's what won me over to iOS.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah. And then so now the other thing that intrigues me is the mixing capabilities that I get, with the different apps that I wouldn't get per se in a groove box. So I feel like I'm able to get more tactical with my mix on the iPad than trying to do it straight in the box with a groove box like the MPC or
that makes sense.
machine. Yeah.
And and a lot of people, of course, a lot of producers, especially hip hop producers who are on the MPC, they tend to not do a whole lot of mixing on the MPC itself. People have told me that they usually make the beat on the MPC, and then they put that they copy the stems over to another device like a desktop or an iPad. So very interesting stuff.
Right. And, those are some of the things that you dread, trying to track it and I don't know, trying to keep the BPM right. And, yeah.
But hey, man, when you export the audio, hopefully audio is audio, and you should be good from there. But you never know. iPad gets a little finicky, but usually it ends up working pretty well. What DAW on the iPad are you using?
Well, my main DAW is BeatMaker 3. I've been fiddling around in Cubases. Not as comfortable with Cubases as I am with BeatMaker, but I am intrigued with it, So, but
yeah, because you got the master track and some other things that BeatMaker doesn't have.
Yeah. The thing about Cubase is, having those waves plugins too. That's what I like as well. Getting that bundle when you first initially buy it, you could do the in-app purchase and get a few extra cool apps in there from Waves.
Absolutely. And those are really great. I mean, just to be honest, even just the standard channel strip is actually fantastic in Cubasis. But yeah, those Waves plugins, and the Waves plugin channel strip, also great. I mean, you can't complain. Like if you put that up to an MPC or an FL Studio, like you wouldn't be able to tell the difference if you run a loop through that.
Not only are they great, but they have good presets to get you where you need to get going.
Right.
Yep, very true, Stephen. Very true. All right, well, let's see if we can hear from somebody else here. Jam, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the discussion so far, and maybe your experience in making music on the iPad.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm a professional musician. I do more traditional arranging multi-track pre-production before I take it into the studio. I work with a number of singers here in Los Angeles. But want to make a comment about affordability, and that's very relative, depends on your budget. For me, if there's an app that does what I want it to do, I don't mind $50, $100, $200. Depends on your budget, right?
Yep. Absolutely. So you are more of a traditional music producer, and you still have been using the iPad. What have you been doing?
Yeah.
What have you been doing with it, and what DAW have you been using?
Cubase. I'm James Bastani. My nickname here is Jam B. But I've been using Cubase 3 for the past month, 3.4. I used to use Cubase 7 10, 15 years ago. Then I got awfully sick. Now I'm getting back, and this mobile production is pretty new. A lot of things have changed. Back then, it was a lot of DIN cables and MIDI cables. Now everything is USB and USB hubs. And so I have to make the adjustments to the new technology.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I tell you, I think you're going to really, really enjoy, using Cubasis and using some other DAWs on the iPad, because it's going to be a whole lot less frustrating than what you used to on the desktop back in the 2010s. I assure you. With Cubasis, you just download it, add a track, and you're done. And there's a ton of great plugins, and of course, they're very affordable, very, very affordable. So great info from that, Jam. Love to hear this conversation, guys. I'm having a great time so far. Hopefully you are as well. We have another person that has just joined into the audio chat here, which is going to be Spice 3D. So Spice, how you doing, bro? Can you hear us, Spice? Oh, it says you're muted. There you go.
Does that work?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Doug Knack, actually.
Oh, Doug Knack, what's going on, bro?
I got a different name on my Discord.
Everybody's got a ton of different names, but I am Vortex everywhere. But go ahead, bro. Yeah, man, I want to hear your thoughts on the discussion, man. I want to hear your thoughts on the discussion and what you've been doing lately on the iPad.
I mostly use iPad for ideas and doing up MIDI and trance arps and stuff like that. And then I'm mostly in Ableton. I really have a hard time using iPad for everything because it's really the screen. I mean, I use a 49-inch 4K monitor as my main monitor, and just going to the iPad is just like it's just too.
Now don't forget though, it does support external monitors. You can hook up an external monitor to the iPad. Just so you know, I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I've never tried it. I know you can, but then there's the other thing is I've got hundreds of plugins that I use. Well, I don't know. I don't use them all, but
on the desktop,
I have hundreds of plugins. And really, the iOS file system's kind of lame. It doesn't really lend itself if you've got a whole lot of files for whatever.
Yeah.
Plugins or samples or whatever. And the tools on desktop, I'm a Windows user for previewing samples, MIDI, stuff like that. It's so nice on, in a Windows environment versus iOS it's just too confining at the moment, which is understandable because it's basically a touch interface. So, your finger, I guess, is made that way. But, it's coming along. I mean, with the pencil, and then as more, it'll be interesting because I don't know if you can really do like a really high resolution interface on the iPad.
Oh yeah, 96K, all the way up to 96K, absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, but the UIs that people make are made for like your finger.
Sure, and that's where the trick comes in, where you can see I prefer to control most of the time with my mouse. When it comes to the fingers, I mostly just use to touch the actual plugins and adjust the actual dials and stuff like that. But when I'm done with that, then I just close it right back with the mouse, go right back and start doing something else, right? So it is interesting that it's like we were talking about. It's like we're almost there. It's like we can see it. we're not there yet, but we can see it, and that's I think some great
Yeah.
points that you brought up, because like the Files app, it is kind of definitely weak when you're working with a lot of different files. It's kind of slow.
Exactly.
But there are apps like Sample Crate that make it a little bit easier to like preview
Yeah.
files, you know, because man, I tell you, it is so annoying in the Files app when you're trying to preview files. You click on an audio, you know, and then it takes you to a whole different screen. Then you have to hit back.
Yeah.
And then actually, like right now, it looks like it's not even opening. It's going into my Cubasis. So weird stuff like that.
Yeah. So I think it's the problem, or one of the problems, major problems, in my opinion, is that these things are coming in from two different angles. Like the desktop is really high resolution, a lot of information on the screen at the
Yes.
same time, where the iOS is finger based. I mean, originally, right? And
Very limited. And you can see you can see there's not a whole lot on the screen. There's enough, but
Yeah.
not nearly as much as you would find like on a Cubase.
yeah, I mean, and then some of my projects in Ableton are like, they can be 100 tracks. And I can't even imagine doing that on Cubasis.
Let's just say that it's possible.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I want to be dragging in one file at a time for 100 different tracks onto the timeline.
Yeah, no. But it's a great idea machine. I mean, I guess Ableton's embraced it with their new Node app. I haven't used that because that's more for people that use the session view. If you're familiar with the clip view,
Well, to be
not
honest,
the arrangement.
in my opinion, I think it's just literally for Ableton users only. Because if all you can do is export an MP3, like you can't actually.
Yeah.
It's made for exporting back into Ableton.
Yeah, I don't know how familiar you are with Ableton, but Ableton has two brains. One is the session view,
Mhm.
which is a clip-based interface, and then there's the arrangement view, which is more your
Classic.
traditional DAW.
Yeah.
And the Node app is made for the session view.
Oh, interesting.
it's
So
not very useful.
so the Node app is not actually made for the timeline part. It's just made for the session part.
Yeah,
Oh, very interesting.
Exactly.
That's also interesting.
probably version 2. I'm sure they'll add a note thing. But I'm enjoying the iOS stuff. I just started using, I think it's called Groovebox, which is kind of a fun little
My
thing.
goodness, I love that app. Got to pull that up.
Yeah, and then now there's Scalar on there now too. So I honestly think like the developers, one way to kind of take advantage of iOS is just to develop apps that are accessory to the desktop, and then allow a nice movement between desktop DAW. That'd be fantastic, because it's amazing what they do on iOS. Some of these apps are just incredible. I wish there was desktop versions of them. So
Yep, I totally understand. Let me just see if I can. Let me see what this triggers real quick, because I think this is triggering. Okay, yeah, you guys can hear that. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the amount of presets that they have on here, the amount of sounds that you can find on just the Groovebox app here is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can scroll and scroll for, and what's really great is we actually have the developer of this on one of our podcasts. Shout out to the developer of this. What makes this Groovebox Amplify Music. So shout out to Amplify Music and the developer there. We had him on our podcast, and he was saying about the MIDI. He was saying that there's a ton of different MIDI in here. When you go to like random, there's like all sorts of great logic behind this stuff. Like it'll like go through a few different things, and then if you don't like that, it'll do something else. And it's just got so many options, and that's just the MIDI part. So you might think like, oh, well, okay, it's a little Groovebox, probably doesn't do a whole lot of stuff, like other than maybe a couple of packs and audio. But no, it's got a ton of great options for editing MIDI in the piano roll, and their random is not quote random. They're pulling from a list of hundreds of MIDI files that they have inside of there. So
it's very musical. And as a side note, I love your those little podcasts with the developers. I mean, I forget which one I watched, but it was very interesting. I think it was one with, I can't remember, but you had some big name guys on there. It was pretty impressive.
Let me pull it up real quick, because we just finished season 1 of our podcast. So if we go to youtube.com/mobilemusicpro, or you can go to mobilemusicpro.com/podcast, but we can see all the podcasts here. And the very last one was with Bolo, the producer, and Henny the business. And that one was really fun, for sure. But we definitely had the audio, the Amplify developer on here as well. And we've got 10 episodes total. So yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying that. That's definitely a super lot of fun for us to make. So glad you're liking it.
Yeah.
Cool, man. All right, so that was some great points that he made. You know, that the Doug Knack just made. We're still not 100% there. We're trying to get there, but there's these little things that are still holding us up. And I do recommend the Sample Crate app because you can just preview stuff so easily with this app. You just tap on it and it'll start going.
Hey, I got a question for you,
Please,
Vortex.
yes, sir.
Hey, so I'm running
Oh, T-Mac's in here
an
too.
iPad Pro.
Just so you know, we're gonna go to T-Mac after you. So go ahead, hard on the beat.
Okay. Yeah. I'm running an iPad Pro, and I'm noticing, because I think it only comes with like about 8 gigs of RAM on that one too, the 2021.
It depends
And
on the size that you got. If you got the 2 terabyte or the 1 or 2 terabyte, then you're going to get the 16 gig.
okay, yeah, no, I got the 512.
Okay, you get
But
8 gig of RAM.
yeah. So I'm noticing, I'm starting to bog down, especially when I'm using Scalar. I might end
Scalar.
up.
Let me just real quick let you know that Scalar, it's a little finicky and buggy. Like even on my 2018 iPad Pro, it's kind of, it feels like it's running slow. I don't actually think that's the case. I think the UI is a little finicky. I don't think it's running quite as slow as you might think, unless you actually are experiencing chops.
Yeah, no, I'm getting shots, man. When I had to change the buffer, like I
Inside of
had a
Cubasis.
full beat. Yeah, not Cubase is a beat maker.
Oh, beat maker.
Well, in Cubasis, I noticed it disengages at times with the MIDI notes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. So I don't know. Sometimes I save my session and I close it out and come back in, and then I play it. And then sometimes I just come back the next day and try to work on a session. I might have to close whatever AUV app that sounds I was using and reload it in order for those sounds to engage. And it's like really weird.
Yeah, see, that's where you got to freeze your tracks, I think, because some of these apps are a little finicky for sure. And what I like to do is I definitely, when it comes to Scalar, when it comes to SynthMaster, when it comes to any apps that I think are a little CPU heavy, I definitely want to freeze the track. And if we look at the update history for Scalar, they haven't updated in a couple of months, so they fixed a couple of bugs. But if you are having a bug and you can repeat it, boy, you got to definitely see if you can try to contact, just send him an email, because I know the guy is really passionate about the app being on iPad, and as you can see, it's got a pretty good review so far. So, yeah, man, if you can recreate that, would definitely appreciate a screen record so we can get that over to the developer. Because Scalar is just such an important part, in my opinion. It's such a huge important part of the iPad music ecosystem, and really in general the desktop music production. I know that there's of course a ton of competitors, but seriously, there's really nothing else exactly like Scalar, and I think that it's really important that we make sure that this is as solid as possible for the iPad.
Yeah, I don't normally use any type of MIDI tools. And Scalar 2 really blew me away when I really got into it because of the guitar stuff alone. It's neat because none of the other apps really do that, where it's just turning what you're playing and you can see what it's playing into guitar, which really is really, really nice for writing like pop music and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because if you don't know music theory very well, Scalar can actually teach you. Right? Like if you don't actually know music theory very well and you start messing with like, let's just say like the voicing lock dynamic, and then we can just go like pull up the keyboard. That's too loud probably, but I just really like how you can go so quickly to ideas by adjusting things. First we have to pull up a chord. Pull up this one. Let's pull up a new one. And these are so nice, but yeah, let me see here. 4, 2. Not getting any sound. And that's the fun with iPad. Let's see here. There we go. I think Scalar, either Scalar or Cubasis has a bug inside of Scalar where the notes won't continue triggering, or they won't start triggering until you hit a regular note first. And then once you hit your regular note, then the chords will all trigger properly. But yeah, that is really interesting. But I just love Scalar for the voicing lock, for so many features, but for the voicing lock, so you can see like what does this chord look like? It'll tell you, it'll show you right there like what it actually looks like. And so for me, that was a really great learning to be able to see where these chords are. And if you look at the voicing lock for dynamic, you'll see that there's always like a bass note. So like a new person would be like, I wonder why there's always a note at the bottom, you know, and then they could learn and they could and get that taught to them. So I think that's really cool. And then of course my favorite feature, like I said in our Scalar 2 video, is by far the keys lock chord notes. So it'll only give you notes in the chord that you're actually pulling up, which is pretty freaking mind-boggling. But yeah, great points. Man, we got to get Scalar working 100%. But did you have anything else there, hard on the beat, before we go to T-Mac? Nope. All right, T-Mac, can you hear us, bro?
Hey,
Hey, how's it going, man?
hey, all right. I'm new to Discord, so I changed my name to correct. And I was Rehab when you saw that before.
Oh, okay. I see now it's T-Mac. Okay, cool.
Great stream. You have a great channel. I'm proud to be part of you guys. I'm an older guy. I'm a musician. I don't have near the production levels, maybe some of these other guys, but I've been in music a long time and played a lot of gigs.
That's
And
awesome,
so
man.
in this-
See, I respect
Well-
live musicians so much, man. So much.
Well, I play bass and other instruments, but I play bass predominantly. But anyway, it at this point, it's fun to get an iPad and be able to do the things. Since I'm older, I can tell you, when I was a kid, it was our dream to be able to make your own music. I mean, we're talking cassette, boombox stuff days and 4 tracks. So to be able to have the power and the ability to do the things in an iPad, it was just, to me, and I've been electronic tech my whole life, and I've been in technology.
Hey, baby.
But real quick,
And,
Spite, Doug Nat, can you mute? Sorry, go ahead. Keep going, T-Mac.
And so just being in electronics, making my living in all radio, all kinds of things, to see the advent of music production come down into we'll call it the layman level, is just great, because I've been in studio, I've been in the big time, and it's an overwhelming thing. There's so much gear. There's one piece of gear that's $5,000. I mean, it's just out of touch for people.
For
So
the average
this
person,
brings
absolutely.
all these things into our grasp, and I don't think it cheapens it. I think it takes a lot of, you have to know what you're doing anyway. Good in, good out. That's the best I can say.
Absolutely.
And so, but this channel helps a lot, and I just really want to give you props for having it, because it inspires me, others, to do something. Let me tell you this: I don't care what you own. If you're not putting something out, or we'll say making progress on your content, whether it's released or just to yourself, it doesn't matter what a $5,000 or $500 piece of gear is. You could take a beat up guitar and make a great song, and you can have $5,000 of Pro Tools sitting there. Now, I've seen it, done it.
Absolutely.
So the iPad is a great way to be able to have that. It's at my disposal, and I can get something done. And there from then it can go into the bigger levels, iPad or whatever. But to be able to have just a complete little package that's pretty smart. I mean, Cubases, I love it. I mean, obviously you talk the things, there's no doubt about it. Can always be more. But wow, what, just coming from an old school to be able to do what we can do in a Cubase, take a project from the beginning to the end. What I also like about the iPad is the AUM aspects, and being able to get the other, we'll say, apps and other things in to try them out, and then you can use it in Cubases or not. So you got a lot of flexibility with AUM and the other apps. They're relatively cheap, so you get to experiment. I don't know how about you, but you pay $200 for an app on PC and you don't like it, you feel a little butt burned. And this way, $7 makes you just, okay, I'll use it a little bit. But I have a lot of apps, and I like the whole idea that it's a lot of power in a small package that is relatively, you can use it all day, but it is tedious if you're doing the big screen and the big computer and Ableton. I got that and everything. But in a way, I don't want to play that anymore, so to speak, all day. So I just want to give you props for propping up this community and pushing the iPad, because I think it's great to see so many things. It's a niche, and I like a niche. Me as a musician, always liked a little bit different, and the creativity can come out of this more than the mainstream, if you will. So by listening to all our songs that everybody plays, your contests are awesome. They inspire me. They make you get off your butt and do it. And if that's anything I want to tell anybody, just do something. I mean, stay on it, man. It doesn't. People ask me, what type of music you listen to? My own. I listen to my own music. In a way, that's not being haughty.
No,
but it means I'm working on myself.
absolutely.
And so, thanks for letting me talk, guys. I really like this community a lot, and I look forward to the next contest. And I'll be a little bit better next time.
Oh man, we appreciate you, man, and thank you so much for the kind words. That's exactly why we throw these contests. One of the main reasons is to just get people creating, right? That's the whole thing, because life is freaking difficult, guys. We all know that. And of course, it's been super difficult these past few years with everything going on in the world. And let me tell you something, it's not going to get any easier by the end of this decade. Like, we're still going to be with inflation. We're still going to have wars going on. We have some crazy economic wars going on. We got pipes being blown up. We got crazy stuff happening. But all of that is only all of that is optional. You don't have to pay attention to all that craziness, right? You don't have to. The media would have you do it. The YouTube would have you do it. All the social media would have you pay attention to all that, but you don't have to. You can actually come to a niche like Mobile Music Pro or like iPadBeatmaking.com, and you can go into our chat rooms and just, be happy. And we're going to only be talking about music, iOS music stuff like that, apps, all that good stuff, and stuff that's going to make us happy. And so that's a really, really great point. I can't thank you enough for making that point, because that really highlights what we're here to do and what the contests have done for people. And that just, of course, fills my heart super huge, because that means that what we actually are doing is working, right? Like, we're actually affecting other people's lives. We're actually, in a good way, actually making the world a better place. And that's, of course, what MMP is here to do, is to raise that positivity and through music. And another great point is that, the iPad, yes, it's not pro yet, but like you say, you can do so many things with it. And like our videos have demonstrated, you can really do a lot. We're talking about 70-80% of a pro DAW here. That's where we're at right now. I mean, at least when we have one-to-one plugins like FabFilter. So we're really getting close, and it's definitely already there for the average person, unless you, like you say, unless you're used to a $100,000 studio and Pro Tools and all that stuff, unless you're used to all that, the iPad is perfect for you. Especially if you're just getting started. The iPad is a great way to just get started. And that's why a lot of our videos focus on newer people and newer producers and, more simpler concepts, because we're trying to usher in this new era, trying to get a whole new generation of people interested in making music on this device, because it just simply wasn't possible before. And so this is a really, really great news to hear that we're doing that. So thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate it. I don't want to talk too much. I want to hear from you guys more as well. Great conversation so far. Let's hear from Burns. Burns, go ahead and unmute, bro, and let us know how you're doing. What do you think of the conversation so far, and what have you been making on the iPad?
Hey, what's up, by the way?
What's
Can you
going
hear
on,
me?
bro? Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm just, I don't know, man. It's just like, if you would have had me have Cubases back when I was a teenager, starting to playing guitar, the options are endless.
It's
started doing sound on, I started doing sound on sound recording, which is, you have one tape deck, one mixing board, one tape deck, and you play the drum tracks off one tape through the mixing board with your guitar and record on that one tape, and then back and forth until you had too much noise. So until I got a 4-track. But, you could do some good stuff with the iPad, not as much as you can with Cubase, though. I've been a Cubase user since 1999. So.
Yeah, it's not quite there yet, right? But absolutely great points. I mean, we're not quite there, but we can kind of see it, right? You can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, though we're still in the middle of the tunnel.
Yeah, audio-wise, you just need some mono, be able to select stereo and mono.
I mean, just basic
MIDI-wise,
stuff.
the editing, and MIDI, the MIDI editing needs a lot of work. That's a pain in the butt. I'd rather just go into Cubase and do a lot of MIDI editing. But on the go, if I'm going somewhere, I have my iPad with me, I can start doing, song ideas right away. And that's what's awesome about it. Then, you can fly right into Cubase.
Absolutely, and it's pretty simple. Shout out to Jamie Mallender. He's got a video on how you can easily export your Cubase's project to your desktop, Cubase, and that's what Jamie Mallender uses as well as Cubase on the desktop, and for the
I
same reasons that
watch.
you mentioned. Sorry.
I watch his channel a lot.
Yeah,
I
for
like
sure.
Jamie. He's an awesome dude.
Shout out to
Awesome
Jamie
dude.
Mallender, man. He's so freaking awesome, and he's so nice, dude. He's like the nicest person like I've ever met in my life. I feel like you couldn't raise his voice if you tried to kill him. Like, this dude is just so nice. He's just the friendliest, biggest heart you'll ever see.
Yeah, and the thing is that you can have a stressful day and you just go to his channel and you're totally relaxed afterwards. He's such a cool dude.
Absolutely. So Jamie,
and inspiring too.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's super inspiring. His videos are super inspiring. Every time he plays, I just love to hear it. I just love to hear Jamie play. And shout out to Jade Star as well. Like, I just love to hear these amazing guitarists play. Like, it's just because I personally can't play the guitar very well. So being able to hear an artist being able to play is just really it's a magical thing. And Jamie really does it. He really pulls it off. And shout out to Jamie as well, because he uses Cubase still for the same reason that you mentioned, where he's got all these great guitar sims on PC that just simply don't exist on the iPad. Like, we don't have a whole lot of guitar sims on the iPad. We got a whole lot of guitar amp sims. We've got unlimited guitar amps, but when it comes to actually guitar sims, we don't really have a whole lot on the iPad. So he still uses Cubase for that, I believe, primarily for some of his effects. But yeah, absolutely great points.
I'm a guitar player, so I play all my guitar stuff. So I play bass, guitar, keyboards, a little bit of drums. So I play all my guitar tracks.
Awesome, man. I definitely have envy for those guitar players for sure, bro. Super dope. I just love it. We've made some packs with Jamie, and of course his guitarists are just freaking awesome. So I
heard those. I heard those. They're really good.
Yeah, I can't get enough of it, man. So thanks so much for your comments, bro. I really appreciate you. You're always in the chat all the time. Well, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, and just want to say thank you for your channel too. It's you're also an inspiring dude. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna keep following and spreading the word.
Appreciate you, man. You bet. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to get more people into mobile music production. Though, of course, I'm not the best producer myself. You guys just blow me away in so many different ways. I still have a lot of information that I can share for people about how to get started and about which plugins to use and good things like that. So hopefully we can continue with that. We're going to do some more music theory stuff next year, some vocal production stuff next year. So we're going to get into a few different sound design as well, some sound design. So we're going to get into a few different things, but absolutely we're going to be doing it all, of course, on the iPad and probably inside of Cubase for the most part, since that's really my favorite DAW. I just haven't found anything that I like more than that. So yeah, I think it's going to be fun, man. And I appreciate you and the channel. Yes, sir. Let's see. Who else we got in here that wants to talk? Does anybody else want to talk before we, or should I start a new
subject? I want to talk.
Oh, who's that?
Jam.
Oh, Jam. Go ahead, man.
Well, it seems like we're talking about everything under the sun here.
Right, we do a lot of discussion.
I'll just tell you the problems I've been having.
Oh, please.
3 things that I want to mention. When I upload an audio file, anything, with a drum loop, whatever, it's audio file, there's always this hiss in the back.
When you upload,
is there any way to get rid of this hiss that comes with all these audio files when we upload them to our tracks?
So just describe one more time. You say that you hear a hiss when you what do you mean by upload an audio track? You mean put an audio track?
Well, let's say I'm Cubasis. I go to drum loops.
Yep, we're in Cubasis.
In the audio files.
Yep.
And then I put it on my track. I stretch it to match my tempo and all. And then when I play it back, I hear the drum beat whatsoever. But there's this background hiss that you used to get on these old machines.
Interesting. I wonder how much you time stretched it, because if you time stretch it too much, you can sometimes get that, but usually
no, I'm not good. I'm not good overkilling. No.
Okay, interesting. Let me see something here. Let me just play a couple of these here real quick.
Listen to the background of any of those drum loops, like
I just pulled one up here, and we're just gonna take a listen here. I haven't time stretched it though, but I just want to see what we got here. Yeah, I don't hear any hiss in these, but you start time stretching them. What it could be, of course, your audio interface as well. Do you hook up an audio interface to your iPad?
I have a Volt 2.
Okay, Volt 2. And let's see, and you got your headphones plugged into the Volt, and you...
No, I have my headphones. I have a Yamaha MGUX, which has a USB port. It's a mixer.
Okay, cool.
So everything, you see, another problem I'm having. When I used Cubase in the past, I would just plug in my professional arranger. I have a Korg PA3X, which has a built-in sequencer, like all keyboard arrangers do.
Mhm.
And Cubase, and I would disable the local, just go to the external MIDI clock, and I would use Cubase to operate the sequencer on my Korg, on my PA3X arranger.
Okay.
That was really easy. Now with Cubasis, it recognizes the PA3X. It does say that it's coming out of the Mackie outputs 1 through 8, 9 through 16, but I can't integrate it into my workflow, the hard synth.
Interesting. So when you plug in the synth, what happens?
Nothing.
And inside,
I mean, I can't. I want to reach the patches. Let's say I got 16 different patches assigned to 16 different channels on my sequencer, on my professional arranger keyboard. So it should theoretically, each MIDI track should correspond to the track on Cubasis. Now, I don't know whether I'm doing the routing wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say, so if you look at, are you watching the stream?
I am watching this stream as well, yes.
Okay, cool. So if you look, there are some routing options in the audio part and in the MIDI part as well. So if you're on a MIDI track, you can definitely do some interesting routing where it's going to choose your outputs and you can choose your inputs. But if you do have a device plugged in here with a bunch of MIDI ports, you should be able to choose each one of your individual MIDI ports one by one in there, or you could choose all at once. And then same thing with audio. If you do have multiple audio inputs in your audio device, you should be able to have those show up right there as well inside of your audio inputs.
They do show up.
Okay. Yeah, I might have
the PA3X shows up, but when I click on it, nothing happens. It doesn't direct me to where I want to. And I've got the MIDI through. I need to have the MIDI through turned on, correct?
Okay. Yeah, you got to have the MIDI. Yep. So this might be an offline issue might have to take off the stream. But if you make sure that you are you in the Discord?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're in the Discord, then definitely DM me, and we'll get this working off once the stream is over. Because I think it's going to be a little bit too much of a complex issue to do over the stream.
Yeah, sure. And I'm more than glad to pay for your time. I mean, I'm planning to donate to your channel tremendously in the future. Anyway, but any help you can help me, help anything you can help me with, more than gracious.
Somebody's playing something. I muted the tab. See, unmute. Okay. Whoever that was, sorry about that. Got some kind of noises we got audio bombed. Ed Zielinski says, audio bombed. But yeah, of course I can mute it and stop from that. But yeah, we'll definitely take that offline and make sure you DM me in the Discord so we can get that figured out. Because that is definitely a specific issue. But when it comes to the audio loops, that was really interesting though. I wonder what the heck was causing the audio loop static. Could be something with, more than likely it's going to be with the connection to the interface, because the loops are pretty clean from Steinberg in here. So even if you're going to stretch them, if you are hearing static, then it's probably going to be something to do with your connectivity, your I/O, basically something to do with your interface. But like we just stretched this out, you can hear this. Yeah. We just stretched out and there's no static in here. So it's more than likely going to be, something to do with the interface. But we'll definitely make sure you DM me on Discord so we can get that taken care of for you. All right, cool, man.
Thank you.
Did you have anything else you want to say, bro?
No, I'm good for now. I'll just private message you and hopefully we can hook up.
You bet. And Dusty Lee actually just mentioned something good too, which is something called Brucefee. Brucefee. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
So that is an app program by Clevgran, and it just helps remove additional static. So if we pull up the app here, it's really just great to as like a tool to use for your microphones when you're recording stuff as well. But you can also like literally apply it on a loop that has too much static on it, and it can help with that as well. Let me just go to Bruce
Uh,
V.
What's it called?
Let me go. 1 second here. Go to Bruce.
Bruce V. Bruce V. Okay, I'm
Bruce
taking notes
Fi.
here.
Yeah, I believe it was Bruce Fi.
Bruce V.
From Clevgrand is where it's from.
Okay, I'm taking notes.
Clevgrand. Let's go to Clevgrand. Clevgrand. One of my favorite developers. And where is it? Where are you? Bruce V. Bruce Fi. There it is. Bruce Fi. Definitely from Clevgrand. And it's super cheap too. I forget how much it is, but it's definitely worth it. You can see here that you can like reduce the noise. And it's really great because all you do is you hit the learn button on the quiet part, and then it'll make everything else, make sure everything else is quiet. So really great app. Highly recommend it. Sound Test Room uses it for every stream. So really cool stuff. Doug from the Sound Test Room. Where am I going? Gotta go back here. There we go. All right, cool. But yeah, that's the Bruce Fi app. Yay. Time is it here? Let's check the time. See how we're doing. Well, we're over an hour in. All right, cool. Let's check the chat real quick. See how everybody's doing in the YouTube chat. I do want to get to a few people here in the YouTube chat. B Jammin is here. What's going on, bro? Let's see here.
Yeah, Vortex.
Yes, sir.
I have to say goodbye. I'm
Okay.
a piano teacher. I have students coming in, but I'll definitely join you next week. Thank you, bro.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
We'll be in touch.
Yes, sir. Have a great day, bro.
Bye, everybody. Thanks everybody for their input.
All right, all right. Having a good chat.
Take care.
Take care, man. I'm just going through the YouTube chat real quick, see what people are saying, because it's going pretty good here. We've got 24 people watching. Let's see here. If you guys want to ask any questions or anything, anybody in the audio chat, you guys can feel free to go ahead and say something if you want. While I go through the YouTube chat here.
Is anybody using Stage Manager?
That's a good question. Like I said earlier, I'm just going to use Cubasis. You know, I just use Cubasis. So for me, Stage Manager doesn't really apply. But is anybody else using Stage Manager? Let me know in the YouTube chat as well.
I'm using Stage Manager.
I'm just
okay.
So I have YouTube in one window and Discord in the other.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It takes the audio away from. I noticed that. So what I had to do is just put Discord on. I had to put Discord by itself and then YouTube separate on my phone.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't I was looking for a mute button or something, but there isn't one. So
yeah, I don't know when you put the two audio on top, it decides to choose one or the other.
Yeah,
whatever.
It needs
your windows
you need to be able to mute one of the windows, I think.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
That's also interesting. Yeah, you can't actually mute like Windows like you can on in Microsoft Windows or on Mac. That's really interesting. Hopefully you can be able to do that at some point. But yeah, I was having issues with Discord today, or I still have it, where every other app recognizes my mic. Like I can go into Cubasis right now and then record something. Like let me just go to audio. Every other app is recognizing my audio, my mic just fine, except for Discord. So let me just record something. See if I can record something here. Testing. Wait, I don't want to freeze it, track. There we go. Let's just see. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Turn off the drums and play. Let's see. And of course, now it doesn't work. I'll try this one time. Testing audio from my mic. Testing. And now it's not working. So that's fun. But anyway, it was working, I swear. So yeah, that's the finickiness of the iPad a little bit. The damn Discord app was not recognizing my mic, even though every other app did. But it's actually not recognizing it right now. What if we do this? Record a video real quick. Testing. 1, 2. Okay. Play that back. Nope. Yeah, so my mic has died. Oh, Lord. Well, at least you guys can still hear me because I'm outputting to the desktop on the laptop with... I have 2 mics here. Let me show you. So I got one mic right here, which is going to the desktop and YouTube. And then I have this mic, which is going to Discord. And this this mic is actually going to the blue is going to the iPad, and this is going to the laptop, which is the Shure. So the Shure is fine as always, but for some reason, Discord is not recognizing my blue snowball. And I don't know why, but oh well. And nothing seems to be recognizing it right now. I probably have to like plug it back in and plug it out, plug it back in or something. Testing. Yep, mono. Testing. Oh, let's close Cubasis. Open it back up. Hopefully everybody's doing good. 21 people watching. Let's just see here. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Well, then there you have it, folks. My mic is screwed. I have to plug it out and plug it back in. Anyway, I just wanted to test that because you guys were talking about issues with the microphone there, with Discord specifically. Let's continue checking the chat. Making sure. Okay, cool. Let's see. Ed says that he thinks there needs to be an effort to integrate mobile and desktop workflows. The communities are quite different right now. And yeah, that's kind of what Mobile Music Pro is trying to do. We're trying to literally elevate the mobile music community up to where the regular music production community is, through tutorials. And now that we're getting plugins like one-to-one plugins like FabFilter, that's going to help with that. So I think we're getting there. That's just going to take some time, but we're definitely getting there. And through channels like ours and iPadBeatmaking.com, we're going to keep showing people that you can do professional production right on the iPad. Not a Box says something that, people want a safe system, and iOS updates iOS updates are unreliable. Absolutely. And speaking of course, it's a pretty good transition. Speaking of course of the 16.1 update, if you are making music on the iPad, guys, do not update to iOS 16. Is anybody in the audio chat updated to? Oh, we got a new person here. Let's go to the new person. Karma Chrome. Can you hear me? Or is that just Sasha? Because that looks like the icon that Sasha used to have.
Yeah, it's Sasha.
Hey, what's going on, Sasha?
Yeah, I had to change the name because there are some groups. There is the original name not exactly the best.
Gotcha. Yeah, we got a lot of German people over here on the channel, man. So shout out to you. Shout out to Not a Box. Germany seems to love MMP.
Sure. So the Shure is fine as always, but for some reason.
Oh, who's talking? Somebody was talking. Was that you, Sasha? Or somebody else?
Not before, but maybe it was you on the iPad.
Well, Sasha, go ahead. Let me know what your thoughts are on the conversation so far, and what have you been doing lately on the iPad, bro? What have you been making lately?
I'm just jumping in, so that you're on the community.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you being here, man. What have you been making lately on the iPad?
Not so much at the moment. The last months were a little bit more of work, new job.
Yep. Well, I just want to say
the job is gone, so new time for iPad and for music making.
No
lately
time.
I was trying out VS synths.
Trying out. Say it again. Trying out what?
VS, the virtual synthesizer.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah. It's a really great offer now for $6.99 US. If someone is interested, it's a bargain for this price.
$7, man. That's crazy.
Oh, it's wonderful, crazy. I was able to get it for $10, and even this was.
Can you spell that?
20.
Can you spell that synth real quick?
A little bit too much for the opportunities you have now with the limited shaders and etc.
Yep. Sasha, can you spell that synth real quick? Can you spell the name of that synth?
In the app store, you can search for VS.
VS.
Oh,
the visuals, the visual synthesizer?
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. I just want to show people what you're talking about. But keep going.
And I also tried out the beta from Vism. This is a great name, Vism. So VYTHM.
VYTHN. Vithen.
Right.
Whoa. What
This
is
is,
this?
I think it's also a German guy. And this is a second version of this
Wow.
app.
So another music visualizer.
Yeah, kind of. It's I would say it's more like a little bit like a mandala station with one background scene you can choose, and then you can choose a front scene. Oh,
Very cool.
I'm sorry.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm missing a little bit more LFOs, and I was writing to him if he can make the tap tempo for once to go over 240.
Gotcha.
Also to get some some more LFOs would be great. So like 3 independent LFOs.
Very cool. Yeah, people are seeming to love these new visual stuff. These new to visualize their music. It's crazy because this Visualize app really takes down my 2018 iPad. Like it sucks the CPU right down. It's crazy.
Yeah, for me too. I tried now in AUM, and it only shows 21%, but something is going on in the background. So it's really and I'm able to crash all the apps like SynthMaster with the crazy programming and also this stuff. It's all is gonna crash if I gone too far with it.
Yep. Gotta be careful. It's for it's the same for desktop too. You got to be a little bit careful. But yeah, as long as you're running at least a 2018, SynthMaster should be pretty good for sure. It's one of my favorite synths.
Yeah, I'm waiting still for the butter synth. He's still
we're waiting
going to the beta test. Don't understand why, but
dude, they've been beta testing butter synth for like a freaking 2 years or something. It's been a while.
I think they had maybe a little bit a bad experience in the past with the Kierno synths was
interesting. Okay.
Called the synthesizer they programmed before.
Yep.
There was another one, an older one.
Yep. Interesting. Well, I hope they come out with it soon. I'm looking forward to that one. I just want to do a quick shout out to Lady Aptitude in the chat. She just got here as well. Anthony Rexhouse, shout out to you guys. Just doing a few shout outs to some of the people. Samuel is in here as well. Samuel says, when Cubasis gets a proper built-in sampler, he'll give it another go. Yeah, we definitely need a sampler inside of Cubasis. Unfortunately, the mini sampler is just not going to get there for most people. We put all our presets inside of the mini sampler because that's all that there is right now. But we're hoping that there's going to be something a little bit better down the line. If I had to make a prediction like what the next update would be for Cubasis, I would assume obviously iOS 16 updates. But as far as like features, boy, I don't know, because of course we have a video on what we want. We have a video put up what we want.
How great is it? How great is it that they bring us the stage manager also to the non-M iPads?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I was thinking like, hey, it's not. I was so happy if I saw this announcement about the Windows, and then they come, M1 and M2 only. What?
Yeah.
No way that iPad cannot handle this stuff. Maybe with the connection to the TV or to the monitor, but normally.
We have a video here on what we were hoping that would come eventually. Let me just see what I have here. Let's see. So eventually we want a tempo track. Obviously everybody wants the BPM track. Hopefully they'll put a freaking BPM track in there, a tempo track. Then a chord track, drum sequencer, pro sampler, some UI enhancements. And the UI enhancements were mainly the scroll bar and a search for the plugins, because oh my god, do I search for plugins so much just to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. I really need a search bar there. So we'll see what Cubasis can do.
I still think we need separate CC lanes, also automation lanes directly under each track, like in a normal DAW.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's weird that you have to actually go to the automation tab and like open a separate editor. It should be right, of course, in the actual timeline. which is,
Right,
is what
exactly.
most DAWs have. But we'll see. Hopefully, it's a little bit, I would assume, a little bit hard to do on a touch interface. But all you would have to do is you could visually show it and have you can easily visually show it. But then as far as editing it, maybe just tap like an extra tap to edit and then bring up the editor. But at least
think
visually
the-
show us. I don't know.
Yeah, there are so much things that are normal if you have support of the keyboard and the mouse support. This was what is really, in the most cases, is annoying, is that you can't go from the workflow the same way or the normal way. You have also, every time you have to do some different extra steps.
Yep. But at least we got some kind of keyboard support. Like I tell you what, I'm so glad to be able to hit spacebar to hit play. Let me tell you, that's a big one. That is a big one for me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're right.
But we shall see if they do more. They got some pretty good keyboard shortcuts up here now. We can let's see. Where's the keyboard shortcuts? We can pull them up. But there's actually a pretty good amount of them. I think I just hold down the command button here. Yep, and we can see all of these different presets for the next track, close view, open view. Of course, like rewind and fast forward and all that good stuff. So you can get around pretty quick if you memorize all these. But then, of course, you have to have a keyboard and mouse plugged in to do that. But most people don't have that. But not here. Mobile Music Pro, I always have a regular QWERTY keyboard plugged in addition with my mouse as well. Can't see the mouse, but I also have to have a mouse and keyboard plugged into my iPad so that I can do my basic stuff. Because, I don't really take the iPad out very much. For when it comes to mobile music production, I actually usually keep it in the studio, but it's nice to be able to take it to the living room, take it to the park, take it wherever I want to go. But when I do take it to places, it's usually just to do very simple things, not necessarily to make a whole new song. I would like start that here in the studio and then take it somewhere and add some melodies or add some basses somewhere else. But I don't think I would start a whole new song. Well, it depends on where I am. Actually, it depends on where I am. You never know. The world
If you're on
is your
holiday
studio.
somewhere.
The world is your studio.
Yeah, that's the case.
Yes,
Have you seen the new Arturia MK3 mini lab?
Yeah, it looks like a beautiful keyboard. Absolutely beautiful keyboard. People are
I
loving
was
it.
a
All the
little bit
reviews
shocked
are good.
about the missing knobs because I don't know, I don't have slider fingers. But for
Yeah.
actually working in the DAW, it's quite useful if you can scroll to the scenes in Ableton and in Bitwig or something. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty nice. What was it called one more time? The MK what?
MK3.
Yeah, that's right. MK3. Is it the mini? Forget. MK3.
That's the mini lab, yeah.
Yeah, here it is.
Mini lab MK3. We had the MK2. You had the MK2
Yep.
in the giveaways, yeah, sometime.
Yeah, the
One
MK3
time.
is looking pretty nice. Can't complain. Look at that.
Yeah,
It's
I
got
like
its own little
the
screen
round
now.
edges
Wow.
and it's missing the metal plate underneath. And I was thinking, okay, it's quality-wise maybe a little bit different, but it's much lighter.
Wow.
So for on the way, it's better.
Boy, it sure looks pretty. Goodness. Sure
Hmm.
looks slick, man. I might have to pick up one
And
of
we
those.
all have seen the remote controller for Ableton, and then Bitwig comes around the corner with the same.
I know, right? I remember FL Studio has its own physical MIDI controller as well. It seems like all these major DAWs now, these desktop DAWs,
Yeah, Fire, yeah.
the Fire, yeah, they all seem to have their own controllers now, dedicated controllers.
You only need who is this guy? Moss. So the drivers for the APC 40 MK2, he makes all the drivers for Bitwig and for the not natively supported DAWs.
Very, very cool. Yep. Have you guys hooked up any external monitors to your iPad yet?
No.
Okay. Let's see.
I tried hooking mine up, but it didn't work. I still had, I don't know why, but mine had still had bars on the side, so I'm not sure.
The only thing I tried last week was.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Was an app called Reflector 4, but it's paid.
Yeah, and the Reflector, that's going to have the bar still. So it's basically, I don't think you can have the bars removed until you're running iPadOS 16.1 on an M1.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
That's me.
Right.
I am.
And you still got the bars?
Yeah, I still have bars. I don't know what's up with that. That's the only thing that I haven't been able to figure out. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm hooked up to HDI, and it even shows which monitor I'm using inside my iPad. So I'm not sure why.
That is trippy. It must just be a bug because that's the whole big thing about Stage Manager is you're supposed to be able to remove the bars. Like we have our iPad hooked up here to a let's see, to a standard little controller where you have the HDMI out and then the USB. So the HDMI is going right into the laptop. So that's how you guys can see the audio or can see the video. But it's very interesting that it would have the black bars. I'm assuming that's got to be a bug because that is supposed to be one of the major big features is to have those bars removed of iOS 16. And
yeah, Sam's saying 16.2 will bring back the full display support.
See, Sam's on top of it. He knows.
Sam knows.
Dude, Sam's the resident tech guy, man. He's 20 plus years in IT. This dude's gonna know. If you have a technical question, Sam's gonna know for sure. Sam says, yeah, connecting a 32-inch touchscreen would be dope. Wow. Yeah, that'll be when we start to get touchscreens the size of like regular monitors for an actual normal price. That's going to be kind of interesting because then you could have like your iPad as the brain, like down here, like at the bottom of your setup, and then above your iPad you could have like two big 32-inch touchscreens or something. That would be freaking interesting. I don't know what that would look like because touchscreens they keep coming down in price, just like everything else. So we'll have to see if that actually comes to fruition one day. That would be cool. Because right now, as you know, like there's no touchscreen like the iPad.
We need a beamer with
itself.
touch support.
What do you say? Say it again.
A beamer with touch support at the wall directly.
Yeah, that would be nice. The whole wall.
So I don't know if you know the Roland. Is it the drum machine in Berlin? The big thing.
I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that.
I tried to find a picture of it. It's really great. It's like a big Roland device at a wall in Berlin somewhere.
That sounds cool. One day we'll all have just monitors the size of our walls because they'll be like projection or something, which would be pretty cool. Yeah, some people in the chat are saying that they've used the monitor before. That's interesting.
Hey, here's a point about your controller before you leave that topic. I have the Novation 49 Mark 2 or 3, and it pairs up really well with Ableton. And it makes, it just plugs in and start, stop, faders. This makes me jealous that Cubasis should put out something similar.
Yeah, wait for the Arturia MK3. You have a little. You don't need the computer anymore. You directly have a little display on the device where you can choose the lanes and the tracks and the scenes. And the faders are directly response to the tracks where you are in. So you have the pen control with the faders, and the controls of the knobs is for the actual device you are using inside Ableton.
Also, the Novation Launch Control XL, that goes with HUI connections perfectly with Cubasis, and that also works with Ableton.
Oh yeah,
very cool.
Yes, yeah, we know. We've done a lot with Novation. I got a few of them. I'll tell you guys if you guys are interested. My son is Trevor, the guy that won the last contest.
Oh, Trevor M.
Nice track, great track.
And he and I share music like this through Cubasis and other. He has MPC. I have an MPC one, and so we have various means. But this is one reason we like your channel too. Is it's a way for he and I to stay connected through this music in a modern way, and then being in a community. And so it was, like I said, real fun to be part of the contest, and he did a great song, and I'm glad you guys have a great contest, and we look forward to the next.
Absolutely, man. You bet. And we're going to have more contests next year, of course. Like that's a big part of the channel. And I think we're done for contests for this year. Because we got November coming up, and then all of December on the channel is going to be our usual videos of the best apps of the year. So we do one of those every week in December. So like the best sampler of the year, the best synthesizer of the year, and so forth, the top 5. So December is kind of taken up. So that only leaves November, and I have some videos planned for that. So I think the next contest is probably going to be January. So it's going to be
why not make the New Year's contest?
Yep, it's going to be next year. Yeah, just so you guys know, as a heads up. But we've done 8 contests so far, but it's crazy. If we count them all up, there, I think there's 8 of them. Yeah, 8 contests so far. So, but yeah, shout out to Trevor for sure. His freaking guitar, dude, was so freaking epic.
Well, everybody's
So good.
entries is great. I love listening to them all.
Dude,
I mean,
it's so
so good to hear creativity from people. I just think it's wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that. I won one contest, but I've took a complete last, and it didn't matter to me one way or the other. Really, I mean, I like winning, but I really here for the tracks and the community to listen and build upon it, and that's a good place to do that. You know,
You're right, man. In fact, for me, I'm using it as a way to get into a genre that I wouldn't be in. So, like when it was house, I'm not a house guy. I mean, I just don't even. I understand it a little, but I'm rock and roll. So, for me to get into that and figure that was a good exercise, and this contest allowed me. I guess I didn't have to make it house, but I went with the program. And so when we go cyberpunk, there you go. I go, okay, let's figure out some cyberpunk. So it's a great way to expose yourself to something that you might not were in and push yourself. Through my life, I found you get better when you do something you're not necessarily comfortable with, and then you can take that back to something you're comfortable with.
Absolutely.
And this is how it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're not learning, you're not growing. And I like this channel to help us grow.
You bet. I'm so glad you said that, because that's kind of the main reason why we're switching up, all these genres. I mean, one is because I want to release, genres in as many, or packs in as many genres as possible. But the other is because I actually like all these genres. Like, these genres are super fun. I believe in them, and I believe that there's a lot of people that like them. And so I definitely want to challenge people by saying, look, if you never made something in metal, or if you never made something in lo-fi or cyberpunk, hey, you don't have to, because we don't force you to make a specific genre, but look, the sounds are there if you want to explore that. And if you don't, you can challenge yourself in another way by trying to conform those sounds into a completely different genre, right? You can take some of those sounds, modify them, and make them work in a completely different genre. Because of course, sound is so malleable. So that's another reason why we switch up the genres, and we're going to keep doing that too. Just so you guys know, like, I think the next genre we're going to get more into some hip hop stuff. But look, the melodies in there and the drums, I mean, they work in a bunch of different genres. You could use it in pop. You can use it in, a bunch of different things. So,
also, man, I want to tell you, I bought some of your packs, and I love them. I like how you've got them structured. Trevor and I both were amazed at how you got them set up for so many different formats or DAWs and the waves, the MIDIs, and then you give in Cubasis the setup template, so to speak. Which is, so you put a lot of value and effort into your packs, and I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I mean, that means the world to me, because I'm super serious about these sample packs, like super serious. I really want these to be some of the best packs in the world, and specifically tailored for mobile music producers. Because like you say, we do support a ton of different apps. We have the presets in here for Gadget and Koala and whatever pretty much drum app that you're using, at least 16 different apps. But we give you the MIDI as well. And a lot of packs don't give you the MIDI. A lot of packs, just give you the audio, which is completely understandable. But I really, really, really pride our packs on having as many features as possible so that you can have as many options as possible for the producer. So we make sure we got to have at least 5 drum kits, at least 60, or at least MIDI files, at least a bunch of MIDI files in there. Got to have the Cubasis template for newer people to get them started. And we got to have all the presets for the different apps. So yeah, it's there's a reason why there's only, like, for example, let's go to the latest pack real quick to show you, because there's a reason why the pack itself is 1.9 gigabyte, but as far as audio, I have that listed. You get about 1.21 gigabyte worth of actual wave. The other 800 megabyte is going to be, template, presets, and all that good stuff, MIDI files, and all that good stuff. So hopefully, it sounds like you guys are enjoying that. So that's really great to hear. Really great.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Well, let's see what time it is. We only got about 15 minutes left. I was thinking that this was only going to last an hour because you guys would get bored or something, but there's been so much great discussion and so much great points that I've just had such an awesome time. So we got about 14 minutes left, and I think then we'll close it. But man, really had a good time. Let me just look at the YouTube chat here. I've been kind of neglecting it a little bit for the audio, but let's see here. Let's see what people are saying. I got some @Mobile Music Pros here.
Hey, Vortex.
Yes, sir.
You know what I like about your sample packs is
Tell me.
for single digit numbers, you put the 0 in front, so stuff sorts the right way.
Yes. I need to do that with the presets because the presets I've been neglecting to do that with the presets because look at the presets. If I open up a MIDI here and go to our presets here, the MIDI sampler, and go to my presets, you can see I don't do that for our presets, so they're like all kind of weirdly ordered. I need to do that for the presets, but I appreciate letting me know about the audio because we definitely do it for the audio to make sure everything is nice.
Yeah. Nobody, I don't think anybody does that. And it always bugs me.
You bet, man. There's a few things, we got inspired, of course, by a couple of different sample pack companies, but none of the sample packs, in our opinion, and I have a lot of sample packs, were 100% perfect. And, I really tried to make sure that our packs were going to be as perfect as they can be for my definition of perfect, and have a ton of value so that hopefully we can kind of fail upwards. So if there's like anything wrong with it, well, somebody could be like, well, look, you still get all this, so.
Yeah. Well, good job.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. If we look at our sample packs here, let's just pull up one. Let's pull up the newest one here, Sentinel. You guys can see, like they were talking about, we gave you the MIDI, of course, as well. The MIDI for everything, including the bass, drum, lead, melody. We give you the RX2 files. So if you guys want to throw those into into Core Gadget, you can do that. Of course, we give you all the WAV files, but a bunch of different WAV files. We'll give you drum kits, drum loops, melodies, FX. So we try to make each pack just like a one-stop shop for a specific genre that you can just dive right into and make something great. And you don't even have to just use only the sounds in there, but for example, you could use some of the MIDI, modify some of the MIDI, and use an entirely different instrument. So options, that's what it's all about for our sample packs, is to give you guys options. So I'm really glad you guys are enjoying that. I really appreciate those comments. For sure. Because we work super hard on these packs. Like, it takes a while to get all those presets into the iPad. It takes a while to name everything and organize everything. So, and also, of course, the box art. I work pretty hard on the box art for the art for the actual pack as well. Try to make it a whole complete package. So glad you guys are like.
Hey, Vortex.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here's not a box again. You can see that this guy, I don't know his name, Mr. Riffler,
Riffler.
The developer of Riffler is in the chat, and I would suggest, man, put him on the next round table.
Oh yeah, dude! Shout out to Riffler. Let's pull up his app real quick first. But man, shout out to Riffler, dude. This app is dope. Riffler, here it is. Great point. Great. Thanks for pointing that out, Nanobox. I didn't even see him in there because I'm like scrolling up trying to find everybody else's chat from previous. I'm like a few minutes behind. But shout out to Riffler. Instant guitar riffs, guys. Instant guitar riffs with this app is really cool. And now what's cool about it is that it's AUV3. When it first was launched, it was not AUV3, but now absolutely AUV3. Use it in any app that you guys want. I haven't used the most updated version. The last time I used it, it was like was when it was standalone. I did not try the AUV3 yet.
I followed his work during the update on Twitter. Whenever he got something new out, I was just amazed. And this guy really puts so much work in it, and I think he's really onto something. Yeah, with this app. And I would like to hear him on the live round table. Not live one, the recorded round table, just to hear how he did it.
Right?
I really want to know.
Right? It's for sure. I mean, it is such a great app. And the stuff that it makes is so good. It's really, really good. Let me just pull it up real quick. Let's just see here. Let's delete some of these tracks. Delete. But let's pull up in MIDI effects, I think. Let's see here. Riffler. There you are. Is this the right Riffler? This might be a different... No, this is the wrong Riffler. Because there's two riffs. There's two Rifflers. One by Audio Modern. And I think one by this gentleman. Let's see here.
Yeah, Riffler got an L after the F's.
Yes. Riffler. Let's see. I thought it was AUV3 now. Let me just double check.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's AUV3 now. So
yeah, maybe you didn't update.
Let's see, Riffler to send. I'm looking in the MIDI effects. Maybe it's not in the MIDI effects. Let's see.
It's an audio instrument, he says.
Okay, that's why. Go add. Wonder if it's in a MIDI or if it's only in audio. Riffler. Oh, I saw it. There it is. Cool. Here we go. Man, dude, the new version looks kind of complex. Wow. The last time I saw this app, it was just sliders. It was mostly just sliders. Whoa. Look at all this stuff. Holy smokes. Choose the tone. Clean, dry, crunch. Wow. Yeah, shout out to Riffler. This is what this app does is it generates guitar riffs, and it generates them really, really well. You can choose your categories like rock, metal, choose a specific preset. Wait, last time I looked at this app, it was like fully black, and it was just sliders. This is a whole new app. I don't even know how to use it. This is definitely a whole new app. Wow. Let's see.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can connect like a swarm instrument or whatever synth you like now as an AV3, you know, and it sends MIDI straight out. So you can make you know, everything with it, and
awesome.
yeah, I love it.
Very, very
You
cool.
know.
Let me ask the guy. Is it in the chat, Riffler? Is it also a MIDI effect? Because that would be good for me, because I would like to use an audio instrument here. Like I would like this to be the guitar, right? Pull up a guitar of some kind, like steel guitar.
Vortex, as I said, it sends MIDI. You know, you can use it.
Oh, by itself too. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
That's how I used it
you have
before.
to load it into a audio track. In ARM it works because ARM is so modular. You can just pull a MIDI connection. Yeah, I don't know if it works in Cubasis though as a MIDI effect. I don't know.
Let's see. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see. Because you can open it by itself, but let's see what the guy says. He says it's an audio instrument AV3. Yeah, it can send MIDI in Cubasis, but can you open it, Riffler? Can you open it as a MIDI app, as a MIDI effects app? Because that's what I would like to do, to open up as a MIDI effects app, so that I could have a regular instrument like a steel guitar, and then put the MIDI effect over the top of it to play it. Steel guitar. So like a steel guitar here. And then I would like to add a MIDI effect over the top of it, which is Riffler. That's what I would like to do. But it looks like you can't do that. Let's see what he says. In the meantime, I can go like this and send the MIDI somewhere. Let's go. MIDI. Export. Scale. Trying to figure out how to send the MIDI to Cubasis, where the MIDI options are. You have to play with this thing still. So give me just a few more seconds here, just to see if I can figure it out in the next few seconds. Let's see.
Yeah, if you put it as an AV3, and then if you open up a MIDI file or a MIDI track, you can open it in the routing from Riffler. That's what he's saying here.
Oh, dope. Okay, so let's do that. We got add audio track, and here we can pull up Riffler. Oh wait. He says, if you select the MIDI instrument in Cubasis, you can select Riffler as the source. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's all right though. And then steel guitar crashes. Oh no, it's still there.
Had someone of you tried the new Gem app, the randomizer? The app randomizer.
By Chemo Clay. I have not tried that yet. Shout out to Chemo Clay.
Sounds very promising.
Let's see, how do you spell his name? I thought it was Kim. Well, let's just go to MIDI Bud.
Oh.
Or Melody Bud. No, Art Bud.
Patch Roulette.
There you go. Chemo Clay. And his latest app, Patch Roulette Randomizer. Very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Create random patches for the AV3 apps on your device. Little novelty. We were talking about that in iPad Beat Making's chat. I have to check that out. But very, very cool. Let's see who else is in here. All right, cool. Just check the chat here. We only got a few minutes left, guys. So let me just check the chat. But yeah, Riffler, make sure you guys check out Riffler. Thank you, Lady Aptitude. She says the box art is very nice. Appreciate you. Appreciate Wyatt in here as well. Appreciate everybody in here. Jersey Boy Beats. Yeah, Wyatt says, thanks for mentioning Sample Crate. It's a useful app. It really is. Absolutely. But we got to get out of here in just a minute because, of course, Sound Test Room is up next. Let's see here. What else is in the chat?
As long as I can say goodbye, I say goodbye to all you people. I love you all and have a great time making music.
Yes, sir. Not a box.
Gutes Nächle.
Thanks, Vortex. It's been a great chat. Good
Appreciate
to talk
you guys.
to you.
You bet. You as well, guys. Had a great, great time. We're going to be doing these at the end of every single month. So hopefully we'll have another discussion again. And we'll have some hopefully new faces and some old faces. And we'll have a great, great discussion. I think we had a good time here today. I know I definitely did. Didn't get through all the subjects that I wanted to get through, but we definitely got through a bunch. So appreciate you guys so much for being here. We better go ahead and exit and say goodbye to everybody. Thank you. I just want to say thank you to all the people live on the YouTube. Thank you guys in the chat. Thank you, of course, to all the live people that came into our audio chat inside of our Discord. You can find our Discord at mobilemusicarmy.com. Completely free to join. We'll be back again next week with a regular live stream. we'll be demoing a new app and of course doing a giveaway and making music. So until next time, guys, really, really appreciate everybody being here. We'll see you next week and have a great, great week and great weekend. Until next time, everybody, keep talking music. We'll see you guys later.
Thanks, so. Bye.
Thank you. Nice talking to everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good day, good evening, wherever you're at.
Good morning,
Thanks
good
for
day, and good evening. All right, guys. See you later.
Yeah, these Discord things are quite interesting. I have another